Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Eric Davidson. Terrell is here in the background.
I'm Terrell Story.
He's busy right now, so he's here
In the kitchen.
in the kitchen. But today I have a guest with me. His name is Matthew Altus.
Hey,
That's me welcoming. I welcome you. I welcome you, Matthew Altis.
I welcome you as well.
well, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. So today's topic is going to be great communicators. We already emphasized the point that communicating effectively was probably a bit too vague and not specific. So anyway, thankfully we got you hooked. You're listening right now.
Yes.
So we're gonna, as we go, we're gonna kind of give a few pointers and tips from our experience and kind of describe our personalities, what works for us. Pretty much the fun of doing communication, whether that may be a speech or a podcast or
Just talking
or
to
a
your friend.
or a presentation or talking to a friend
Or cooking in the kitchen.
or cooking in the kitchen. Kitchen talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I do impressions. I do movie impressions, but specifically, I wanted it to work with the topic. So, I might consider making a little appetizer episode where I just go on a ramble of movie characters that I can do. But so anyway, just what we want you to leave with is even though you may not be good one-on-one or good in a meeting or in a group or even giving a speech. I suck at speeches. And we all need to improve on something. I'm good at one-on-one conversation. This is one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, and no one's perfect, and no one's going to be like 100% all the time able to deliver a speech at any given moment. Like if you woke up in the middle, if you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, you're probably not going to be able to speak, your best speech.
There are exceptions. Very few exceptions of intelligent people.
Like me, I always give my best speeches in the middle of the night after a cold sweat. Here we lie in our sweat.
Might need to see a doctor about that.
Okay. To the point. So, I'm going to start off with Patrick Henry, Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death, on Richmond, Virginia in 1775. A little background on Patrick Henry. His father was like a farmer, and he had no formal education, but he, whatever conference this was, he just went up there, spoke his mind well, and he changed people's minds. So, just by learning how to communicate effectively, he made history.
Improvisation.
I shall begin. I shall impersonate a person with two people who have not been recorded on a listening device. So, all right, I shall begin.
I shall listen.
It is in vain, sir, to accentuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace. No, there is no peace. war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why are we standing here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, peace so sweet, and to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death! Thank you. More to come.
Yeah.
That
Very nice. I must say it was very inspiring. I almost wanted her to raise my pitchfork here and take out the British.
yes. Well, the redcoats are going down, red in their blood and red in flames. Yeah, not to be hard on the British or something.
Yeah.
The past is the past. Thank you for Doctor Who and Harry Potter. We appreciate that very much.
And
Okay.
tea and
Okay, so Abraham Lincoln, one of our greatest presidents, who was significant in abolishing slavery, and starting out, he did not have like a full education, which back then it was, it was definitely harder than today to get a formal education than you can do now. So yeah, and he struggled as a lawyer. He was known to have a higher pitched voice that kind of squeaked, which I'm gonna kind of impersonate the guy who did. Have you seen like the Lincoln movie?
I have not.
Well, I mean, it's not like you haven't seen Star Wars or anything, but
Believe you me,
woo!
I've seen Star Wars.
I saw. As a matter of fact, I saw you at the theater after I saw it. It's like, what?
Yeah, man.
Okay, no spoilers, but this is
Great movie. Go see it.
Go see it on DVD because this is gonna be later when it's
Yes.
out. So, point being, off topic once again. So, Abraham Lincoln, the Gettysburg Address, 1863, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Applause
I'm
to you,
I'm flattered.
Abraham Lincoln.
I'm actually related to Abraham Lincoln, not directly, but I have proof. I just don't. I don't have. I should have it. My dad has it well documented, and it's some sort of connection by a grandmother once removed or something. So,
That's cool.
neat little fact about myself. So now, going, let's see, about 80 years into the future, more or less.
Time traveling again.
Time traveling. Yeah, no murder and bloodshed. Regrettably, I shouldn't have written those notes when I was late at night. I just went like copy, paste, Okay, no, we don't need this paragraph. It's like, oh, bloodshed. I am sorry, Terrell. Time travel should not be like this. But a little tidbit on that. Okay. Point being, Winston Churchill. So, Churchill, he was overweight. He had a speech impediment, and as I listened to the recording of his speech, we shall fight on the beaches, the House of Commons, London in 1940. It was very unflattering. No Patrick Henry performance that I was expecting. So take a whirl with that.
Here we go.
We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight in the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence, growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight in the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Even if, which I do not for a moment believe, this island or large part of it is subjugated and starving, in our empire beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the British fleet, we carry on the struggle until, in God's good time, the new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the earth.
Whoa. There's my unflattering applause.
Unflattering applause. How appropriate. But yeah, these are the speeches that change people's mind once they were spoken. Applause. So,
Words throughout
20
history.
years into the future, John F. Kennedy, at his inauguration address, said this familiar quote. I have practiced this, and I hope one-hit wonder nail it. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. That took me.
That was good.
Took me a solid week to practice, but
Sounds like it paid off.
So did you know that JFK had several medical conditions and they kept it like super top secret because like, oh no, the president's sick.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, and then also that the fact that he might have actually died not too long after. If the bullet would have missed him during his if his assassination wasn't successful, he would have died from his disease, like probably a few months to a year after. So, fact of history.
The more you know.
The more you know. Let's see. Let's go. It's closer, probably about to 15 years later. Ronald Reagan. He started out as a TV star. That's not exactly the common person you would meet on the street and yada yada yada. But still, pretty much the economy was in ruins in the early 1980s, and just what he did to improve the economy until 1988, I think it was, is just wow. And foreign relations, which I'll let's see, is Ronald Reagan. His remarks at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, 1987. General Secretary Gorbachev, you seek peace. You seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. You seek liberalization. Come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Yeah,
round of applause.
Yeah. There's thunderous applause between the last words of the speech.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, the Berlin Wall was torn down. Words are powerful.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, language and communication in general is just such
Language.
amazing.
Reference to Avengers: Age of Ultron. Inside joke. Okay. So now I'm going to conclude with Barack Obama, which it's probably up to you if he's a great speaker or something like that. But I just wanted an excerpt from. I wanted to do an excerpt from his farewell letter. Just because I can. I'm going to.
He's also one of the most modern examples we had. So.
One of the most modern. So this is this is a bit more from roughly about 8 years listening to the radio and TV.
Yeah.
My fellow Americans, it has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop. In fact, I'll be right there with you, as a citizen, for all my days that remain. For now, whether you're young or young at heart, I have one final ask of you as your president. The same thing I asked you when you took a chance on me 8 years ago. When you took a chance on me 8 years ago. Cliffhanger right there. Well, if you desperately want to know, just search his farewell speech on Google, and then you're smart people. You can figure it out.
Yeah, it's the whole interweb and stuff.
It's the complex matrix of the interweb that we're on right now. Well,
Yeah.
figuratively speaking, the recording of our voices are on right now, and we can refer to it the physical world. Whoa.
Yeah. And
Whoa.
who knows, maybe in like 15, 20 years, someone else will start, hey, another podcast. And they'll go over great communicators, and they'll mention us. Maybe we'll be on someone's list someday.
We could. Or it could be a podcast about you and I, how we effectively communicated through a podcast, and
Change the world.
it's our kids.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
Maybe they'll try to do impersonation of us.
Wow. Yeah. I'd probably like to not like to see that. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
Take a whirl at it. World. Yeah. Okay. So you had a story about the your experience with the speech and debate.
Yeah. I am a recent member of speech and debate at our local high school. And I'd say I was pretty decent. I wasn't like super amazing or super bad. It was just okay. But the specific time I'm referring to, and I'm gonna tell you guys about, is my first meet. The first time I went to a competition, and I happened to be in the particular event of policy debate. And so that's where you have two people on each team, and you each get a topic, you research it, and then you go all out at each other. So anyhow, my partner and I, we had never been to neither of us had been to a debate meet before, so we're both brand new to this. So we walk up, goes to this place. First thing we notice is our opponents have boxes, literal boxes full of paper and stacks of information, and we had two tiny folders. So we walk in and immediately like, oh, we're not prepared for this. We have absolutely no idea what we're doing.
So did they have like handwritten notes and then you had typed notes?
Well, no, they had typed notes, handwritten stuff. They had like different like cards from different speeches. They had like different sources, printed out websites. It was
So do you remember what the specific topic for debate was?
I don't remember the exact wording, but it was about how some agency, what they should do with their information that they collect from the internet. And you know, like browsing history and like what you do from internet service providers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were saying something about if they should keep the information or if they should, you know, if they even should have it, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going at this, and we start out. The opponents, I think, go first. They get up. This guy brings a big stack of paper with him, lays them down on the thing, and starts going. So we're like, immediately, okay, let's start. We had notepads and we're taking notes, writing down things that we could probably counteract against him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're writing, we're going. And we keep going. This guy speaks for 17 minutes. Which,
So right now we're at like 22 minutes. So yeah, just imagine one guy going on by himself, just spewing out information left and right.
Yeah, and mind you, he was supposed to be on the same level of us, which later we found out something interesting. But anyhow, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. You got me hooked.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So this guy, 17 minutes, which for all those speech and debate, you know, people who are adamant know the rules. You can't do that. There are time limits for how long you can speak.
Mm-hmm.
His time limit was 5 minutes. So, to say the least, he was very over it.
Very, very passionate.
Yeah.
We are passionate right now. We pre-planned this. I practiced my impersonations. Matthew hand wrote his notes. I am impressed. I always type my notes because I think my handwriting's sloppy, but I can read it.
Yeah, mine's sloppy too, but I just threw it on there really quickly. It's not super legible, but it's on there.
I can read it. You probably couldn't read mine.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's legible. It's a mixture between self-made print. I didn't officially. I'm homeschooled, so my mom taught me cursive, so I can write my name pretty, but she didn't like actually teach me how to print. I just looked at words, and it's like, oh, I can imitate that, and then she like implemented me to do more cursive, and then now I like to write fast, and then with that I kind of implement some cursive stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I've never been a man at cursive, but anyhow, back to the story, which is more these and in this debating tournament, you go back and forth, right? So first person speaks, and you get up and you speak, and then you both get up and you ask them questions. And so it was my partner's turn first. He gets up and they kind of converse a little bit, and then they sit down, get up and ask some questions. And then, so now it's my turn. So I get up there, and I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm starting to sweat even because I'm like just super nervous because I've never spoken in front of a large group of people before.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up there and I'm like I stutter through my entire speech. I often kind of drop out, wait a few like a good amount of time, and then I start again because I'm super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I just kind of get done and I'm like, thank you, and I sit down. Okay, the other person gets up. They literally just read off the card
Mm-hmm.
an entire speech, and then they sit down. Then we get up. It's time for questions. We don't have any questions because, well, I didn't have any questions because I was just so nervous and I didn't want to say anything. The other girl had a few questions, but not much. Sit back down. Okay, and the round progresses. Every time I get up, it's kind of a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
But the one particular time that I remember the most, I got up there, and my partner knows that I'm doing terrible, and he's trying to help me out as much as he can.
Yeah.
So he brought up this point that in order, because so recently, this was around the time that the Boston bombing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that with the Boston Marathon, that was just
Yeah.
that terrible accident. Not accident. Incident. Incident.
It-
Wrong I word. Sorry. No wait, I and A.
Facts. I misspell facts. Accident, incident. We all flop sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's just a conversational podcast, so it's fine. It's fine. It's all good, my man. So what'd you find out about the other guy who prepared?
Turns out they got literally all they did was take the speeches from their upper class team and they used them. So they just read off what their older teammates told them to.
Oh, good gracious! So were they flunked out later on?
Yeah, we actually won because they got kicked out of the competition.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Don't cheat, kids.
Yeah. So
Do work.
So
Oh, yes.
the part that relates us to
That reminds
communication, I get up there, and I'm stuttering my friend. He's like, okay, I got this. So he writes on his notepad in big words, Boston bombing. Okay, and he wants me in circles it because he wants me to say that the information that people get, if for instance the FBI is looking for terrorists or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and communications in between them and stuff like that. He wanted me to bring something up how that happened. So I get up there. I'm like, okay, I got this. This is a strong point. It's about saving lives. That. So say, the Boston bombing, and then my brain goes completely dead. I have no idea what to say. And so, I kind of wait, and then I say, it happened. And then I just freak out, and I say, thank you, and I sit down. That was my entire speech.
I feel so sorry for you, man.
Yeah, it was...
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just.
You're laughing with me, because...
I'm laughing with you because I would do the same thing probably.
Yeah.
But so as a sort of relate, briefly, I was in a psychology class, and at the end of class, I was supposed to present the paper I was supposed to make. So pretty much what I decided to do, I was just gonna summarize my paper and just sort of regurgitate the information that I had done. I do better with more of a conversational kind of speech, and that's not easy to do through a speech, informational speech. So I started out well, but I just had my notes 6 inches from my face and sort of muttered it, and I passed the class. That was still good.
That's good.
That's good, but public speaking is not easy. It's just giving you a lot of this probably unnecessary attention. But also as a performer, I've done some theater. You've done some theater.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
one day I came in, it's like you're wearing mascara. It's like, oh, Matthew,
Yeah, man.
you're one of those.
No, it's not a phase.
Oh, good gracious. Yeah. So, anyway, I've been in several productions with Fine Linen Theater. We perform in the Ozark Actors Theater in Raw, also known as the Cedar Street Playhouse. We're just for some people it might be confused. We are a separate drama group that rents out the building and just performs for the fun of it. Ozark Actors Theater, they are the actual professionals with equity actors and all that. So anyway, Fine Linen is community, Ozark Actors equity. So nothing wrong with either. But anyway, as I've progressed in doing shows and doing some better roles, I've gained confidence, and you're prepared. You get involved in the story, and you kind of not to ignore the audience, but you get caught up in the story, and it just works out well in presenting that to the audience.
Yeah.
So.
And you mentioned confidence, which in just any communication ever, confidence is a really great, important aspect.
Making that step to talk to that girl that you like, something like that.
Or talking to your manager or your boss to get a promotion or a raise.
Yeah. Because you might have it as what if they say no? I can't handle the rejection. Well, I'm gonna have to tell it to you, Buster. From my experience, if you miss out on things, if you don't lose something, you're not gonna win something either.
Yeah. It's a good lesson.
Good lesson. So, all right. Do you think we should wrap it up?
Yeah, I think
It's been a great
put
time.
them through enough. Yeah.
Great time, my man.
Great.
And we're going to log out. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.